Hello YouTube and all my friends out there in the garage gang. I got a little power hour going on this evening, working on the 69 El Camino. You can see I've got her broken down into her basic components. I've been working on the pillar caps for each side. Got the passenger side done. Driver's side, spent some time on it last weekend, and I've got just about all of the holes covered. 265 Chevy gave me a pretty good tip. He said, you know, just basically attack it one little section at a time instead of trying to form the whole panel, which is what I did over here. This is all one piece right here. I formed it out of the old shoulder cowl, and it's all one piece. I used my body hammers and a ball peen and formed this little recess right here, or reveal, or whatever you want to call it. But this is all one piece, and he posted a video and said basically just take it a step at a time, and that's what I'm doing over there. So I've got about 90% of that one done, and be working on that some more this weekend. But right now what I'm doing is I'm focusing on the existing A-pillar where the windshield ledge is, or I'm not sure what it's called, but it's where the windshield goes. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's all rusted out. It's completely rusted all the way across. And what I did here is the guy that I bought the doors and I've got the doors, got the windows, inner fender panel, and some other stuff from. He actually sold the bed off of his El Camino and the upper cowl on the front end where the firewall is, and this was the piece that was left over, so he chunked this in for me when I went to pick up the doors and the fender well and some other stuff, and he chunked in the roof bridge. So I've got some good A-pillar material right here. This A-pillar is in really good shape. It's solid all the way up. There's no rust. There's no pitting. You know, where we've got the lead joint right here, I'm gonna have to do some work. But there's just a tiny bit of surface right here. But for the most part, this A-pillar is in really good shape. And the way these cars are constructed, the way they were assembled, is you basically have, see if I can do this. He used a chop saw to cut this thing in half. So you basically got two different pieces. You have the exterior, which I would call basically a Z, right? This is the outer A-pillar, windshield ledge, and then the inside. And then you have the interior of the A-pillar right here, which faces the interior of the car. This on the inside is where the A-pillar cover bolts to or screws to. So anyhow, as you can see, mine is in really bad shape. I've got rust here. Oh, excuse me. I have rust down here all the way up to where it joins the roof at here, or joins the roof here, and then even on the interior, there's a roof brace on the inside. There's a roof brace on the inside, and that is rusted away as well, along with the roof edge. Here's the roof on the outside, and then the brace on the inside is rusted away as well. So the idea is, and I've got it set up this way so I can do a comparison. You can see the obvious difference between what I have and what I want to go to. So basically, what I started studying this thing, and I looked and I realized that this is actually two pieces. You have an exterior part and an outer half, we'll call it outer half, and we've got an inner half. And this is just basically assembled with spot welds. Let's see if I can get a good angle from here. Yeah. So this is where the outer drip ledge goes right here. There are three screws holding it in place. One at the top, one in the middle, and then one at the bottom. And on this one right here, the drip ledge is already removed. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to separate the exterior, which is what I need, from the interior, which is what I don't. Okay, on the interior of my car, it's all in good shape. It's solid. It hadn't been exposed to rust or you know, whatever the hell this car was being chewed up by. But I just need the outer half, right? The outer section. So what I'm doing right now is on the outside lip of this, right? There's spot welds. They didn't spot weld it in the middle of the seam, in the middle of the flange. They didn't spot weld it in the middle of the flange. They spot welded on the outside edge. So I'm taking my grinding tool and tell you what, sorry about the zoom. I'm trying to get you guys a good picture. So what I'm doing basically is I'm taking my angle grinder and I'm grinding on the inside. Come on, focus. Alright, so here we go. I've got my screwdriver wedged in right now. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure this is focused. I've got my screwdriver wedged in right now, here. And basically, as I find these spot welds, I've got one right here that I've already ground away with my cutting wheel. And as I go and break loose each one, I'm working my way up on the outside. Now on the inside, there are also some spot welds. And let me see if I can do this here. Yeah, here we go. Yikes. I'm going to be cutting these spot welds loose on the inside. So you can see where the interior A-pillar, the interior section of the A-pillar, goes all the way up and ties into the upper roof brace right here. It's kind of dark, but I hope you can see. But basically what I wanted to show you was the spot welds right here. So as I'm cutting the spot welds loose on the outside, I'm also going to cut them loose on the inside. And once I get them cut loose on the inside, I should be able to I'll take a measurement of what material I've got left on the A-pillar, and then once I get this section cut loose from the donor part, I'll come up here and find a reference point, measure all the way down to here, and then do the same thing on the existing A-pillar, find a reference point, which is probably going to be somewhere. I mean, it's got, as long as I get it within 1/8 of an inch, I'll be good, because I can fill that in. And then I'll come in here, measure all the way down, and basically, I mean, if we go by the posts, and I'm just going to assume that the post might be measured out from the factory. We've got 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, and then I've got about another 2.5 inches. So if I go 1 here, which is gone, 2 here, and 3 here, and about another 2.5 inches, that puts me right down to right about here. So this new roof pillar section there should be able to fit in the top from there all the way down to right about here. I'm going to measure it short and leave plenty of fat on this one. That way I can hopefully join them up together here and get a measurement of it. So anyhow, my goal right now is to get this outer half off, and on the donor part, and then get the outer half off on the existing cab. And once I get these welds broken loose here, and I get these spot welds broken loose on this one, I can peel this outer piece off and come back in, get the old piece off. I'll do the same thing here. I'll have to get the welds broken loose. I can fill one right there. I'll get these welds cut loose and get this broken off, cut it approximately where the new donor part is going to be going, and then leave myself enough room to make it up, and hopefully be able to come in and lay this piece all the way up to the top where that is right there. So ideally I'll have new material all the way up to the roof bridge. So anyhow, we'll keep going, and what kind of progress I can make, I'll hopefully catch up with you, drop in. I'm at about, I'm already hitting 9 minutes. I talk too much. But anyhow, I'm going to get this separated. I'm going to try to drop in a clip or two and hopefully show you the progress going from yanking it off the donor the donor piece, and then getting it finally tacked and in place on the existing. So more to come. Hope you guys are doing well and your snow's melting. Peace out, you guys. Okay, so success by going through and cutting on the spot welds on this outside edge where they were really close to the edge, and then grinding away the spot welds on the inside here. Woo, that's sharp. I had gloves on, so don't sweat it. I don't have them on now, but I'm being really careful. I grinded away the spot welds that were holding it to the interior, I guess the interior section of the A-pillar here, and you can see where I've separated it, right? My biggest fear, which I've never done, and I don't know how to address it from this point out, is the lead joint at the where the A-pillar joins the roof. And as I wiggled this away and pried it, the outer section, as I tried to pry it away and separate it from the inner half, boink, nice big chunk of lead popped off. Well, it's probably a good thing, because it appears to me that there's a weld right here, and if you can see it or not, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's some rust here. So it's probably a good thing, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this. I'm going to go ahead and grind this weld out right here. Looks to me like it's a contact weld to keep the outer half attached to the roof. And I'm going to grind that away and try to separate these two pieces, the roof from the outer half of the A-pillar, and hopefully catch you up on that. But I guess my next question is, well, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I'm just concerned about the whole lead thing. I've heard that lead is soft and pliable in a comparison with body filler, and that's why they use lead, because this is a flexion point, and you don't want body filler in here because it's very hard and rigid. The tensile strength is such that it won't flex, it's going to crack. So anyhow, it's done. So I'm going to go ahead and grind this weld out right here. It looks to be a weld. I'm going to grind this out right here and see if I can separate the outer section of the A panel from the front edge, leading edge of the roof windshield ledge here, and or bridge, roof bridge, whatever you want to call it, and we'll go from there. That's next. Checking with you in a bit. KT out.